I know why you're afraid to go out at night. The Batman.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most impactful and memorable movie scenes in cinematic history.
Spider-Man attacked me for some reason. He has an army of weaponized drones, Stark technology. He's saying he's the only one who's gonna be the new Iron Man, no one else.
Number 10. Oh Captain, My Captain, Dead Poets Society. John Keating is an unorthodox teacher whose unique methods inspire his students to pursue their passions.
Come on, Charlie, let it fill your soul.
To indeed be a god!
However, seizing the day doesn't go well for all of them. Neil Perry's father can't understand his son's love of acting and sends him to a military academy.
That's 10 more years. Father, that's a lifetime!
Stop it. Don't be so dramatic. You make it sound like a prison term.
This prompts Neil to take his own life. The remaining members of the titular club are intimidated into testifying against Keating, and he's fired. However, when he comes to retrieve his things, the boys reaffirm their respect for him by standing on their desks and quoting Walt Whitman's famous poem, Oh Captain, My Captain.
Captain, my captain.
Sit down, Mr. Anderson. You hear me? Sit down.
It's a stirring display of loyalty that has remained in the public consciousness for decades. Who else did this when Robin Williams passed?
Thank you, boys. Thank you.
Number 9. Tears in Rain, Blade Runner. Roy Batty, a murderous, quote-unquote, dying android replicant, has pursued his human hunter Rick Deckard to a rooftop. With Deckard at his mercy and poised to fall, Batty unexpectedly chooses to save his life, offering a final act of compassion. Batty goes on to deliver a monologue lamenting that everything he is and all the incredible experience he's had will be gone when he dies, like tears in rain.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion.
Batty may not be human, but his speech so perfectly encapsulates our primal emotions about death. This is one scene that we hope will never be lost to time.
All those moments will be lost in time. Like tears in rain.
Number 8. The Snap, Avengers Infinity War.
Today I lost more than you can know. But now is no time to mourn.
The Marvel movies are packed with unforgettable moments, and this one sits very high on that list. Galactic tyrant Thanos has ruthlessly pursued the Infinity Stones, whose combined powers will give him the ability to wipe out half of all life in the universe. Surely the Avengers will stop him, right? Right? Well, sadly, Thor fails to kill him quickly and Thanos snaps his fingers before vanishing.
You should have gone for the head.
Soon, many of our favorite heroes start vanishing too, dissolving into dust as Thanos' snap takes effect. This scene hit pop culture like a meteor, sending a shockwave through all of us, the ripples of which are still felt to this day. The villain won, the heroes lost, and our hearts are still broken.
There was no other way.
Number 7. The Hills Are Alive, The Sound of Music. The opening scene of this incredibly popular musical is one of the most iconic in all of cinema. Julie Andrews sings her heart out among stunning vistas, with that sweeping first shot being particularly famous.
The hills are alive with the sound of music.
Her character Maria bounds among trees, along brooks, and over hills as she sings about her passion for music and singing.
My heart wants to sigh like a chime that flies from a church on a breeze.
It's such a joyful scene that speaks to us no matter our age, and for good reason. Without a doubt, the magic of this scene will continue to resonate as long as we have a song in our hearts and breath in our lungs.
My heart will be blessed with the sound of music.
Number 6. Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner, Dirty Dancing. From a musical introduction, we turn to a dance finale. Johnny and Baby are torn apart by misunderstandings and class prejudices, but at a talent show where Baby has been sidelined, Johnny arrives and brings her out of the corner and into the spotlight.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Johnny confesses that she's made him a better person. Together, they debut their meticulously rehearsed dance in front of everyone, igniting a wave of dancing among onlookers and making them swoon at the romance of it all.
Yes, I know it's on your mind when you say, stay with me tonight.
Baby and Johnny's routine is a time of our lives that we won't soon forget. Number 5. Peter Parker's identity is exposed. Spider-Man: Far From Home.
The shocking video was released earlier today on the controversial news website, thedailybugle.net.
Another MCU film, Spider-Man: Far From Home wraps up with the titular superhero defeating Mysterio, saving the day, getting the girl. Case closed. Well, not exactly. During the mid-credits scene, Peter and MJ do some web-slinging to applause from passers-by when a broadcast puts a major damper on things. J. Jonah Jameson presents a doctored video that lays the blame on Spider-Man for all his misdeeds and reveals Peter's secret identity.
There you have it, folks. Conclusive proof that Spider-Man was responsible for the brutal murder of Mysterio.
J.K. Simmons' return as J. Jonah's epic, the twist is incredible, and the scene basically distills everyone's worst nightmare about our biggest secrets being revealed to the world and amplifies it a millionfold.
Spider-Man's name is Peter Parker.
Number 4. A magic trick. The Dark Knight. While not the first time Heath Ledger's Joker appears on screen, it's his proper introduction, and boy does he leave an impression.
Give me one reason why I shouldn't have my boy here pull your head off.
How about a magic trick?
The Joker waltzes into a mob meeting, kills a goon with a pencil, and picks apart their plans with ease. Most of the gangsters may not take him seriously, but the incredible mix of menace and humor that the Joker exudes throughout has us on the edge of our seats each time we revisit this scene.
I'm putting the word out. 500 grand for this clown dead. 1 million alive, so I can teach him some manners first.
This is how you introduce a villain properly. We have his card, but we don't need a phone to call this scene to mind.
Why don't you give me a call when you want to start taking things a little more seriously? Here's my card.
Number 3. The shower scene. Psycho.
You sure you wouldn't like to stay just a little while longer? Just for talk?
I'd like to, but...
All right.
In the history of horror, there are few scenes as memorable as this one. Marion Crane stays the night at the Bates Motel with stolen money and the uncanny innkeeper to occupy her mind. When Marion takes a shower, her bathing is interrupted by a shadowy feminine figure who pulls back the curtain and repeatedly stabs her to death. Although positively bloodless by today's standards, this is one of the most famous movie death scenes ever made. That is thanks to its great camera work, a haunting performance by actress Janet Leigh, seriously, how did she manage to not blink, and musical strings that cut like a knife. Number 2. No Place Like Home, The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, will you help me? Can you help me? You don't need to be helped any longer. You've always had the power to go back to Kansas.
The Wizard of Oz is a Technicolor masterpiece that has etched itself into pop culture like a yellow brick road through all of our brains. But it's the ending that makes it onto our list. Just when it seems Dorothy Gale will never get back to Kansas, Glinda the Good Witch tells her to click her heels together and repeat that there's no place like home.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Dorothy wakes up back home in Kansas, surrounded by familiar faces.
It was a place, and you were there.
Oh, sure.
It's a magical ending to an iconic film, and while it may not be our top pick, there's no scene like this one.
Oh, Auntie M, there's no place like home.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Dress Up, The Silence of the Lambs. Even serial killers dance in the mirror. Lasso the Moon, It's a Wonderful Life. One of the most famous romantic speeches ever.
You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Leaving Through the Gates, Hocus Pocus. Moving on has rarely been so beautiful.
I shall always be with you.
Raising the Chandelier, The Phantom of the Opera. The organ music and transition to color are so clean. Aaron puts a lawyer in their place, Aaron Brockovich. No law degree, but all the info.
Annabelle Daniels. Annabelle Daniels, 714-454-9346. 10 years old, 11 in May. Lived on the plume since birth.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The Ride of the Rohirrim, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. Nearly every scene in the Lord of the Rings films is iconic, but this one's something special. At the Siege of Gondor, Sauron's army have breached the city and even Gandalf is in dire straits. But then, who should arrive but the Riders of Rohan? Their king Theoden leads from the front and delivers a stirring speech that never fails to give us chills. The massive army of warriors on horseback then plows straight through the army of orcs. Cavalry charges are a common story element throughout history, yet it has never, ever been done quite as epically as this scene. The music, the dialogue, the grand scale of it all. This scene should live forever, till the world's ending and beyond. If there's an unforgettable movie scene we've managed to forget, remind us in the comments. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.